you know, being in practice, seeing guys, you know, all-time NBA players, all-time coaches, Phil Jackson, you know, Kobe Bryant, Tex Winter, Brian Shaw, you know, Kirk Rambis, Craig Hodges, you know, those type of players and coaches. It helped me understand, like, wow, this is what it is at the next level. But it gave me that vision. I'm like, wow, I wish I had this level of education at a young age, because no one that actually knows me can actually say James didn't put forth the effort of working on his game. Like, I worked nonstop every single day. That was my life. I had two choices growing up in New York City: sell drugs, get in trouble, or go play basketball. It was tough growing up in New York City. Basketball was my passion, and that's what I chose. And I want to really give these kids a sense of hope.
Basketball is serious. It's a job. There's only about, let's say, roughly 400 NBA jobs. There's only 4,000 Division I players. And there's about 4 million kids that want to make it. So that window is real small. Real small. And only the best ones that are going to implement the game and learn from the game are going to get to that level. It has to be your life. We're in New York. It's about to get cold in the morning. Man, you shoot jump shot 5 a.m. I remember them days. Working out with this him, and in the cold. Trying to sneak in Smith Gym, no membership. I remember those days. Freezing in the gym for like we outside. You know? Because we wanted it. You gotta want it, man. If you're the best player in the court, you are on the wrong court. What am I going to do to help change the culture of basketball?
One thing about the culture of the game nowadays, kids don't embrace the process. They embrace the result.
I have some of the best players in California. No, James, you know, I had 30, I had 40. Go do it against that other guy. Then that's impressive. Do it against NBA players. It's a mindset. Don't think you're that good. Because you may have some likes on Instagram or Facebook, whatever your social media site, doesn't really make you relevant. You still gotta play the game. You still gotta get into these 4 lines and play the game.
A lot of people, what they do is they get a little highlight, little clip here and there, you know, throw it on their social media websites, like let's say Instagram or whatever the case may be, and then they may get 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 likes, shall I say. And then they think they're good, to the point where, and it's very concerning to me personally, I'll sit here and a coach will tell me, "Oh, James, you know, come take a look at this kid. This kid has 900,000 views in the past 2 months." I don't really, you know, views don't make players, you know. That's how many people looked at the actual clip. The game of basketball is developed fundamentally, physically, mentally, and emotionally, challenging them. And I think the internet is a great thing for kids to develop their games, but then it's also a bad thing, where kids are more wired to be on the more entertainment side as opposed to fitting in the system. It's more that me culture that we have nowadays. Most of these kids that are striving to play at the next level, they're not going to play at the next level, or the NBA, shall I say. So what did they learn in that process of working on their games? They're learning that me, and you know, they're gonna have to learn as an adult when they're working for a corporation or whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, when you're working for a big corporation, you're just a piece of the team, you know. And if they're not learning that concept at a young age, it's gonna be even that much more difficult to learn that process as an adult. These are the things that I'm trying to do. Have these kids, give them an opportunity to strive for their goals and prepare them how to prepare for their goals, but not just on in between the lines, but outside the court as well. You know, because most of these kids are not being prepared to develop their games. And I don't mean game just in basketball, but I'm talking about the game of life and how to navigate and become better men and women. You know, so and that's the key. It's bigger than just basketball. It's the culture. What are we teaching our kids? And at the end of the day, you know, every single person that may be viewing this video right now will all be dead in 100 years. What did we do to pay the information forward to our kids and our grandkids and so on and so forth to make this a better place to live at, you know? And if we're not learning, then what? We're just setting up our kids for failure. And that's my passion, is to bring the culture of basketball back and then have these kids become, you know, better young men and women. And I love all kids, you know, and it's our job to make it a better future.
Switch the heads, come hit now, big man on you. Bing! He's gonna drop. Don't look at him fall. You look at the rim and you focus. You'll be on ESPN later that night. Let's go, Smush. Ready?
The culture of basketball is not as fundamental as it used to be, where we were taught more of the basics as the foundation. I see a lot of kids, they're more prone to developing their game in a more entertainment aspect. Well, that's just a one-on-one situation, but the game of basketball is a 5-on-5 situation, and I personally think that, you know, the game of basketball is in a dire strait to bring back the culture of how kids are developing their games, you know, not just dribbling and getting the oohs and the ahs for them from the crowd. It's more so, you know, the game of basketball was created to score one more point than the next team. And sometimes that's not the case, you know, for whatever the case may be. I see that the game of basketball is controlled by the dollar, you know. It's controlled by the dollar, let's just say it for what it is. And, you know, a lot of people who influence the game to a certain degree don't really care about the kids as much, you know, in terms of them developing. You know, once they're done with whatever they need from the youth, you know, they're done with them. My job is to bring the culture back to really get these kids prepared. You know, in order to pass a test, you have to study for a test. And in order to play in these 4 lines, it's going to be very difficult.
Pick up full court, hound the guards, make them turns 3-4 times, chalk on defense, have that dog in you. All right? Act like you're trying to get a job today. You don't even know who's in this gym. Somebody in this gym can change your life around for the better in a minute.
Culture run creates an atmosphere, a very hostile atmosphere, where fundamentals are reinforced, games are developed on both sides of the court, and players are getting an understanding of how to fit in a team concept as opposed to just dominating the ball. Because the game of basketball from back then, me growing up, was big men, you know, playing inside out. Nowadays, it's more guard dominant. You know, there's not really the fundamental big men no more. You know, you got big men shooting threes and stuff like that, and whoever catches the ball, they just go. But that's not what college coaches are looking for. That's not what NBA coaches are looking for. They're looking for players that's going to be able to fit in a system to be able to exploit the opposing team. Smush really set the tone. Ball moving, screens, and really explaining it.
You had a guy on the right and you had Smush on your left. And you 3-on-1. You gotta stop right here and give the pass. He's gonna finish and he's gonna finish. Your ball. You're lucky he blocked it out of bounds. Come on, let's go.
It was a dungeon type experience, like that New York grit experience, which I really wanted to accomplish and start reinforcing the fundamentals, but in that intense atmosphere. Smush was really big in the fact of obviously his knowledge and being, you know, playing the NBA for so many years and being, you know, starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. That knowledge is priceless, and setting the tone for these kids so these kids can really get, you know, a glimpse of, you know, what they want to achieve at the next level, or what they will be exposed at the next level, shall I say. I mean, obviously all kids want to make it to the next level, but how do you get there?
I was discovered playing outside, and I played 1 year high school basketball. You guys have an opportunity here to do something special. I never had this. Take advantage of it. Take this serious, because this could be a ticket. Like I said, you don't know who's in the stands right now. This man brings people to the open gym, not y'all. He's bringing college guys, college coaches, NBA scouts. I'm here. This has been on Instagram, Facebook. They knew we was coming. There are people out there in the stands now that showed up because of us. You don't know who's out there. So play serious. That throwing it off the backboard, that's not what it's going to take to get to the next level. Let's take this run serious. Let's play hard, and let's compete.
It's a controlled scrimmage. It's not like I'm letting you come down, clear out one side, and entertain. One thing that Smush did, he directed traffic, and when plays started getting out of hand, we would stop the workout and explain.
Move the ball! Stop playing with the ball! He's nowhere near as fast as a pass. Make the adjustment.
To really explain, not just the man with the ball, with the players without the ball, and how to read screens, how to bring the ball up, which side to bring the ball up in, you know, not getting trapped in the corner, little fundamental aspects and key points that these kids, you know, don't have in their games yet. We're exposing them and making them aware of what they need to do to play at the next level, because fundamentals, there's so many different basic fundamentals that we're missing as a culture, and I think especially Smush, he really reinforced that, you know, taking less dribbles out of the move, reading the defenses, and then reading how to execute plays with, you know, while saving energy.
Go get it.
This is what it's about. But then on top of that, translate these lessons and disciplines and translate it in the game of life. Basketball is a small department in the game of life. It's just a small department. We don't play basketball, you still have a beautiful life. This is what it's about. If you want to do it, life is short, man. My parents are gone. They were gone. They checked in and out. He was there. Smush was there. Quick, gone. Stop looking at the best players in the world and implementing the end goal. Implement the process. He ain't get to the league overnight. He came from West 4th Street. And it was a process. He trusted the right people and he got to the league. He didn't come into the league as a scorer. He made the league from defense. He turned you and turned you. He was a long 6'4" guard, filled like guards at that height, and he turned you. Yeah, he made shots. He was a very good offensive player too. But that's what got him the job. 3-hour practice, Smush, teach what you just learned. Literally, I know he wanted to go eat. And I made him stay after practice and we would work on our game because I wanted to learn.
I'm so grateful and blessed to be able to make it out of New York. As this grows, you know, my plan is to eventually come back to New York City more and more and give back to the kids, to give the kids, you know, a sense of a direction and people to look up to. And just give them that vision of where they can be and not to lose hope. Because unfortunately, growing up in situations where, you know, resources are very limited, you know, the hopes become diminished sometimes.
He didn't have a name. I remember, he didn't have a name. He wasn't ranked in the country. No one knew about Smush until, correct me if I'm wrong, Smush, went to ABCD camp, and I ain't naming names, but he just started lighting dudes up. I was like, what's this kid? His name is Smush. ABCD camp, Teaneck, New Jersey, Sunny Vaccaro, all of them. Got us on the train, Smush went to work. Why didn't he put him in front of the right people, and then he made his name. So it doesn't matter where you at, it matters where you're going.
I played in the NBA 6 years. I played with some of the best players in the NBA history: Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, D. Wade, Steve Nash. I played with these guys. You know, I made the NBA, but it wasn't through scoring the basketball. You know, scoring the basketball is good for the fans. What I paid attention to was the details. Our man played well today. The scouts, if they see that after he hits that jump shot, him trying back down on defense with his back to the ball, and not seeing where the basketball is going, it don't matter if he hit that jump shot 4 or 5 times in a row. If he doesn't see the ball running back on defense and his man scores, he's no good. He's no good for an NBA team. It's your job to step and stop the ball. This guy right here, your man, is no longer your man, because the ball is the most important. The man with the ball is the most important person on the court. So if he gets to the basket and you don't step up, but you gun on your man, that's your fault. You guarding your man, but the ball just got finished laying it up right behind you. It's the details. It's not always about scoring a basketball. And that's all I'm gonna leave y'all with. Pay attention to the small details of the game, because they mean the most important.
I come from the bottom. Me coming from the bottom is I mean, it was very rough in New York. It was very rough, like, you know, a lot of fighting, a lot of this, a lot of that. And my life changed in one day, just moving out here to LA. And I think that if I could sit here and go and work for these, you know, work with these families that, you know, take care of me and stuff like that, and I'll be grateful and I'll make my money. But I think that's a waste of my talent, you know. It'll be a waste of my talent. All in all, you know, I want to help as many kids as possible to really get to the next level. You know, not just a couple hundred. I want to affect millions of kids. You know, like, wow, James really set the bar.
So you had a lot of talent in this building. Let's learn from it. All right, guys.